I'm really excited that Krista Tippett interviewed Dr. Katharine Hayhoe, who is a climate scientist who has a really unusual background. She comes from it both from her evangelical Christian background, but also she teaches science at the college level, university level. She also has been tapped to be involved in lots of global initiatives around climate change. She kind of talks about how the spectrum of what people believe, dismissives or people who are just like so completely passionate that they really don't even know how to engage themselves. And she said the one thing that we all have in common is fear.
And we see that expressed in two primary ways. The first way is more obvious and more overt. It's the fear of what will happen to us if we don't fix climate change, the apocalyptic scenarios. But when we are overloaded with fear and we don't feel like there's anything we can do about it, we just check out. There's this really helpful sort of paradigm called the 6 Americas of global warming. And it shows how people are not just for or against or, believers or deniers as we commonly, in common parlance, but rather people fall into one of 6 groups. And the first 2 groups, the alarmed and the concerned, are the biggest groups, and they make up more than 50% of people in the United States.
The fact that they both come from a faith background really helps the conversation turn towards talking about those of us who do have faith connections. How are we called to be stewards of this earth? What does that mean? How do we take that seriously? And what are we not doing that we need to be doing? So it's an opportunity to really engage in thinking about how do we look at some of the most concerning and frightening aspects of our changing world and really figure out how can we be as one as we begin to address them. The evening with Krista Tippett is going to be one of those times when we can really be proud of who we are as a congregation, that we have invited a person in who is going to help us really wrestle with some questions. She's not going to give us answers. We're not going to go out here with a checklist of what we can go and do, but she's going to put before us questions that the whole world is wrestling with, that people in different places and times have wrestled with. And so coming together to hear this voice, to hear her experience, to be asked some questions that we may need have spoken out loud will be a really special time for us as a congregation and for us as a community.